Why do we do what we do? Why are we so content with our way of doing things? After all, we feel, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Well, no one can know everything, and there is always a better way. The relationship between man and horse has been one of the most romantic, intriguing love affairs ever told. And for the ones who do it best, their lives have been immortalized in movies, books, and history. Some simply call them trainers. Some call them cowboys or clinicians. And others call them whisperers. Call them what you will. They all share the same mystical abilities and powers of teaching, reading, and bonding with the horse. The horse is an exquisite sensory system of nerves which culminate into a hair trigger alarm system, and when activated, releases an explosion of energy channeled into an instantaneous flight for survival. They are naturally fearful, and for millions of years have had every reason to be, for man first hunted these beautiful creatures for their meat. And the horse has lost almost none of this instinct in the last million years that he has been associating with humans. The cowboys you're about to meet understand these instinctive, troublesome fears, and through their understanding are able to gain trust into the horse's heart and soul. Stories of horse whispers have been told since the beginning of time. But are these stories merely myths and legends made up for the sole purpose of entertainment? Or do you believe that man can actually communicate with these magnificent creatures? Join us on an unforgettable journey into an unbelievable competition of today's top whisperers. The whisperer term describes a special breed of cowboy thought to have mystical or supernatural powers over horses, who some 200 years ago would take a wild horse into a private place and ride the gentle creature out a short time later. And this is the basis of our whisper challenge today, minus one small detail. The private place these guys will work in, well, it's not so private. It's not very quiet. And these horses and cowboys have seen nothing like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, set that meeting here right now. Mr. Pat Parelli from Colorado. He's got his little run up the face. Stepping in right now. Run around the drum. So forward. I'll just explain to you right now. This is the Riata pin. The one in the middle is Preferred. The one on the far end is KSCS. In a few minutes, I'm going to drop these three pieces of paper in half.
We're going to these two? I don't understand.
Yes, yeah, these two. This is Riata, Preferred, KSCS. Look at that. I got it. I got it.
Riata?
Yeah. Preferred. And the others somehow. Yeah. And so it'll be from front to back. Riata, Preferred, KSCS. At Jay's direction, whenever you're ready. You ready? All right. So what we're going to do, Pat Parelli, Josh Lyons, and Craig Cameron, somebody just reach up and grab a piece of paper out of the hat. Get the sweat on your hand. Look, you're going to hand it to Josh. Josh reaching in, digging deep. Pat opened his up, and
Preferred.
Pat gets Preferred, which is those are the center two horses.
Center two horses.
Yes, sir.
The good-looking one.
KSCS. Josh Lyons has the far end, the two horses that are down there. That leaves Craig Cameron with Riata Restaurant which is the first two right behind us.
Well, that
right
one
here.
with the 44 on its hip. Look at that.
Yeah, with the bridle path and the shoes.
No, the strawberry roan at 44 on its hip.
Yeah. All right, mount up, cowboy.
Near my round.
Back. Nope.
Now, who's going to be the don't shoot the same guy. Who's the rank?
Wranglers for
Each trainer is given 10 minutes to look over his two horses and choose the one he feels will be the best horse for the challenge. After the selection is made, they will have 2.5 hours to work with their horse in preparation for the judged competition at the end of the night.
Josh, you drew the KSCS radio pin just a few minutes ago.
Yes.
And you've gone in to take a look at the horses and picked one. Which one have you picked?
I picked the back horse.
The lighter color bay.
Yeah. The main reason I picked him was if you look at this horse is less timid around you. The other one's a little more jumpy. A little more nervous, skittish. This one's also got a lot of junk in his eye. He got sick. Yeah, which could play in a factor later, if he's not feeling well, or if I get started and, all of a sudden he's not feeling well, he starts coliking and gets sick on him.
Good.
Because the last one, we went over a little more skittish, a little jumpy. He's got a lot more emotion into it. I think he'll make a better change. There's one thing you got to have when you're training, and that's movement. If you're fighting to get that, then you're not only fighting to get the training done, you're also fighting to get that movement. He's going to give me the movement, so I just got to show him where I want to put it.
You talked about movement, you've talked about attitude, and you've talked about overall disposition. Did conformation play any part in it as well, or was that one of the last factors?
Nope, never even looked at it. If I was going to buy a horse, I would have bought him too. But
very good. Well, Josh Lyons, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Pat Parelli has drawn his horse out of the preferred pins. Pat, which horse do you take?
I'm going to take this kind of bay roan horse
Kind
here.
of a bay roan, the first one closest to us, the bay roan.
He's got a little more life to him. He's looks a little more wild, but I think he'll have more staying power in the end. And I think he's got a little brighter, more sensitivity to him. He's more my kind of horse. The other one's gentler. Heck, my grandma could ride that one.
Yeah, no challenge.
No challenge.
So what about conformation? Did that deal play any part in your decision?
No, not so much. What I was looking for here was just the feel of that horse. That horse got a lot of feel. He's sensitive. Most people wouldn't get along with a horse like that, so I'm going to take him as my own personal challenge.
Very good. Well, good luck to you, sir. This is the Riata Restaurant.
Riata Restaurant.
Riata Restaurant. Which one have you chosen?
I'm the choose little bay horse right here. He seems, fairly quiet and good-minded, and he's not really on guard. Of course, all that could change in a heartbeat, but whereas the little roan horse was real high-headed, even when I was standing over there, kind of just on a kind of on guard way, and so again, you never know what's going to happen when you get in there, but kind of like the feel of this horse right now.
Okay, very good. Did conformation play any part in your decision at all?
A little bit, but this horse has got a good set of withers right there. He's fairly straight-legged. He's got black points, black mane and tail. He ought to be real sound, and of course these horses are from this area, and they ought to tolerate the heat and one thing and another. So, but that's something the guy wants to take in consideration as he's out here working too. He doesn't want to get his horse too hot or.
Let's not confuse anybody. They're not from the downtown area.
No, I
Good luck
agree.
to you.
I'm not either.
None of
Sam.
us are. We're all scared to death, aren't we? Greg Cameron, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
The judged competition, immediately following the 2.5-hour training session, will consist of 3 sections. First, general handling ability. walk, jog, lope in both directions, controlled turns, stops, and backing. Secondly, an obstacle course consisting of 7 obstacles, including roping off these newly trained horses and a jump or a step over. The third portion is for bonus points, a freestyle giving each trainer the opportunity to do anything special he feels his horse is ready for. All of this in an environment that would be challenging for even a well-trained horse.
You guys ready for what you came for? Yeah, let them know about it. It's time to kick this deal off. They said, we are ready, and here we go. Josh Lyons, ladies and gentlemen, the far side, the green and blue shirt. He's mounting up and stepping in. Pat Parelli in the ring closest to me right now. Pat, you ready? Step up, buddy. Here we go. Woo! Mr. Craig Cameron in the dark blue shirt. He said, I'm ready too. Let's rock and roll. Cowboys, mount up. Your 2.5 hours starts right this minute. Now, let me tell you something. We're going to introduce these guys in more detail. Y'all go ahead and get started. In more detail as the day goes on. We'll talk about where they're from, what they've been doing, and what's been going on in their lives. We'll let them talk a little bit in the first hour and in the second hour as well. Stick around for that. It's going to be good.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if anything should go wrong with any of these 3 men, we have 3 backups here this evening. One guy by the name of Joe Wimberly Jr. from Cool, Texas. Another fellow by the name of Cody Lambert, who's one of the all-time great bronc riders and bull riders in the world with the PBR. And another kid that's trying to make his claim to fame and hopes to be a cowboy someday by the name of Ty Murray. And if we need to, we'll put one of those guys in the pen with each of these guys. I just want these guys to know that we've got a backup.
And Bob, if that doesn't work, we'll see if we have some volunteers from the crowd. I bet we would. We might be asking for mother-in-laws later on to ride these horses. We'll just see how they go.
The old methodology of breaking horses is quickly being replaced with the new methods you will see here tonight.
Want to reach out and touch someone, huh?
These 3 men have perfected the art of communicating with a horse in a natural and easy manner. You can beat any horse into submission, but at the end of the day, the only thing that you'll have is a confused, angry horse that doesn't like you. Compulsion and blows only inspire more fear, a fear that is not soon forgotten and is directly related to man. The 3 trainers here tonight are the best in the world at understanding these problems. They will not force these horses into doing anything. They will simply ask them as a friend. They will ultimately gain trust into the horse's heart and soul, a trust that is unbreakable.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching all 3 of these men, each of them with their different style, if you'll watch Josh on the far side, he is a 2nd generation, born to be expert. He'd be the digital one that would have the most modern technique by age, design, and who his daddy is. Everybody's going to work their own horse the same way. As you watch Craig Cameron right here, what this young man has perfected the art of doing is becoming familiar with the horse he's about to work and becoming their friend. If you can't become their friend and they can't trust you, your range of level of accomplishment is going to take 10 times as long and more chances of not having any success. What you're watching Pat Parelli do with this long whip is the first thing he has to do to this roan horse, and it might have something to do with the roan in him. Anytime you get roan in a bay or a red or a blue, it's going to put an outcross of breeding in them. It's going to make them genetically just a little more to handle, kind of like a red-haired woman, and I've been married to one for 35 years. What Pat's trying to do over here is put pressure and release on this roan horse and get him to stand the pressure and appreciate the release. And until you get a horse that's confident that you're not going to hurt them, till you get a horse to stand and lick their lips and let you touch them without an aid, and that whip is the aid. Watch him right now. Trying to get this horse to look at him without touching him, make him do it on his own power. When this horse learns the respect of eye to eye, which he just got, he'll back away. Why hasn't he haltered that horse yet? Why did Craig halter this one quick? He found a weak spot in his horse. The horse would relax. Josh found the same thing. Craig's still on a halter. Josh, put this spike bit in his horse's mouth. He's got control of the horse's head and mind. What he's asking for now is for the horse to let him move past the shoulder point. Animals with peripheral vision cannot see you past their shoulder. Once you get past that shoulder, they have to learn to relax and allow you to do what you do by feel, and they have to trust you. For those of you that never handle many green horses, you watch what Josh is trying to do with this rope. As he pitches that halter rope back over this horse, he's petting him to the shoulder point. Horse is still watching him. Horse is saying, okay, you're fine from the shoulder forward where I can smell you, I can see you, you're touching me and you're not hurting me. He's using that halter shank as an aid. That halter shank is his hand before his hand gets there. Now you watch these horses' hind legs, they'll pivot on their front. You see what Craig is doing with that halter shank up underneath this horse's flank to the inside. Every one of them is going to treat this horse a different way for the different horse. You keep your eye on Craig Cameron. He's going to be, in a minute, he's fixing to crawl in the middle of this horse just with an upper half of his body. He's going to tell this horse that my body, your body are one. My body doesn't hurt your body, and there's no reason for your body to want to hurt my body. Right here. You're looking at green horses, everything about him. He's going to touch his horse in every private part that he can. Once you let somebody do that, then you've committed to them that you're going to give. And as soon as that person gives, then you take the next move. As soon as this horse gives, you take the next move.
You know, Bob, one of the things that I've noticed, and that it's easy to notice here with all these guys here in rings side by side, is the difference in how they started. And I think you talked about that just a minute ago. Josh Lyons, as Bob pointed out, has actually got not a halter but a bridle on this horse. He's got a bit in the horse's mouth. Josh tells you in some of his videos that that bit is easier to deal with than a halter because of the pressure it puts on the pole of the horse's head. So that's why he starts with a bridle and a bit rather than just a halter. As you can see, Craig's got a different opinion about it, so he's got his halter on already. Pat's not even using a halter yet. You hear about these guys, and you see their tapes, hear their work, but seeing them all side by side, there's not but one place that you've ever been able to get that done. That's right here tonight. We certainly appreciate them coming out and showing us and competing against each other to see who absolutely is the best. Pat's getting his little bay with the roan hairs wrapped up pretty good in this rope. Rope down around the back left pasture. Over his withers, over his neck, around his nose. Beginning to understand that Pat Parelli's actually not going to hurt him. Josh has done about the same thing. If you look at Josh's horse right now, he's licking his lips, playing with the bit a little bit, but he certainly has accepted Josh with what they've got going on over here. Josh's been throwing the lead rope around him some, having him turn to face him. That's what he's doing. Seems to turn and face him everywhere he goes. Again, pressure and release. Pressure and release. Craig, the same thing, but certainly a little bit different style. Starting with a halter. Sacking the horse out right now with a good long lead rope. Marion Bueller is one of the judges that has agreed to come out tonight. She's standing next to me here in the blue shirt, the clipboard. Marion, the reason we asked her to do this is because of her experience with horses. She's been training horses and showing them for about 30 years now. So she knows about horses. She knows about young ones. She knows about mature horses. She knows about horses that have come from trainers, about horses that she has trained herself as a non-pro. She's got many championship titles behind her, top 10s, top 5s, in several different disciplines. But on top of that, Marion is a trainer to boot. She trains exotic animals, sea lions and dolphins. In fact, right now she has in her foster care 2 Bengal tigers, a hybrid wolf, and you just never know what Marion's going to end up with. But she is very aware, very savvy about the horse industry and about training in general, so that's why we have invited Marion Bueller to come out and give us her opinion about the training that has gone on and will happen here this evening. Our judges stand around watching right now just to see the process. They're not judging anything, they're just monitoring. Where the judging takes place is at the end of this training period, where these cowboys will be separated from their horses and nobody will handle their horses. You're in a time while we set up the obstacle course. That's where the judges come into play. They'll watch the horses on the rail. They'll watch them on the obstacle course. Then they'll watch them try to earn extra credit in a freestyle segment. Bob, what's going on over here?
Well, Thomas Saunders and I are watching Craig, and we're both Craig Cameron fans. We're Josh fans. We're Pat Parelli fans. But the thing with it is, this horse doesn't want to give to the inside. Now, he'll give to the left. He's wanting to balk to the right. You see him give to him. It's a very gentle touch. Touch him on the outside so that he gets a full body motion. He's bending him to the left. Horse wants to do this. Just a touch in his rib point, get him to bend. Now watch him when he comes to the right. This colt might be left leaded. If this was a barrel race colt, this would be a horse you'd want to run to the right first, get by it, and have 2 to the left. See how stiff he is to the right? His trust level on the right side, just like your brain on the right side, is not as strong as it is on the left. Now he's starting to give. He's starting to roll over his hocks instead of being stiff-hipped. Now watch him lead him off. He's going to tell him he did good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, every time I walk off from one, every time I walk off from one of these colts, I feel like it takes a lot of pressure off the horse, and this little horse, just like Bob said, he wants to be a little stiff to the right, and just taking my time to get him to bend and flex and follow that feel, and then other than that, with my long line, just kind of gentling the horse from head to toe, all the way through, even up in his flanks and underneath his tail and right down to his feet. So just let him figure out, first of all, I'm not going to hurt him.
I know you're not going to hurt him. Make it work. Pat's at a point where he can't really talk too much. And if you see him do something that you like, it's okay to applaud him. Yeah. Give him a hand. Everybody all at the same time, give him one round of applause. Let these horses know that's coming. Let them know it's coming. Now you're watching Josh go to the 8 of a whip for the first time to touch this horse. And you got to think about the atmospheric conditions. It's hot, it's muggy. These horses are not sweating from the heat. They were all dead dry when we started here. That's nerves. And as soon as they can feel that they sweat, your smell, their smell, that it's a match, you're all right. Okay, now you're watching Josh go to the right side. He's been working this horse to the left, and it's natural for a person to work a horse on the left side because you bridle a horse 9 out of 10 times from the left side. You halter and buckle a halter on a horse 9 out of 10 times from the left side. And 9 out of 10 people are right-handed, so you're stronger in your mind on the left side. So if you get them to their left and your right, then you're winning.
Josh, you ready to spend about 10 minutes talking to these folks about what's going on in your pen?
What I'm playing with is, the reason I went to the bit right off the bat is I want him to use that bit to ride him later. I want to make sure he understands now if he gets nervous, gets excited, gets scared, and jumps, how to respond to that bit. That he doesn't take off or at least stay under control, because at some point he's going to get nervous or get scared. What I'm looking for here, when I'm working him, is I'm trying to get his right foot up off the bit and step in front of his left foot. When he does that, he softens up his body. So I'm waiting to give him that chance to do that. Now, through the whole time, I'm just kind of sacking him out, you know, throwing the rope up on him, kind of just playing with him. What I'm focusing on is this bit and softening up that shoulder. Again, I want to make sure it stays forward. Now what I want to do is I want to pick the emotions up a little bit and start to jump away. Then touch that bit and make him come back. Good.
Craig, you need to be careful, son. You're going to scare your horse.
Don't make a whole lot of sense to me that a guy'd saddle a horse without a halter or bridle on it. What if he ran away?
The preferred panel is going to keep this one where it belongs.
Oh, good. This is what we wanted. He just got the first taste of I don't like it. And he just got, now watch him, now watch his horse. Watch his horse lick his lips. Watch him. Watch him. He's telling himself, I didn't like it, but it didn't hurt me. And he didn't do that to him to hurt him. He did that to him to give him his natural spirit to do something that's unnatural, and is to have those 2 cinches on him. Either that or it's too much strategy from Purina. And if you ain't feeding strategy, Craig Cameron and I don't like you. That's the way it is. Now Josh on the far side is starting his blanket. You want to make sure this horse is comfortable.
Bob, as we talked about a little while ago, all these cowboys in front of us right now pick these horses based on their attitudes, their dispositions. And I think what they told us during the draw has come true for each one of them. It certainly has. Pat said he wanted that one because it seemed like it had a little more spunk, a little more vigor than the other horse had. And he certainly is accurate there.
When you think about that, a horse in 2 hours' time is going to give all that he's got. And if he wears out and his guts quit him, that means his gears are going to quit him. So if you pick a horse that's going to be the easiest when it comes to the Destruction Derby and the obstacle course here, another hour, you want that horse to have some life left in him.
Hey, Bob, you know, we talked a little while ago about Marion Bueller, one of our judges that has come out to offer her time and expertise in this deal. Well, also, Dale Seagraves, a man that you know, I know. He's here with us also from Weatherford, Texas. Many of you know Seagraves through Seagraves and Associates, a horse sale company that's been around for many, many years. Dale, since he graduated from college back in the early 70s, has sold about 15,000 horses.
And that attests to about $15 million.
Yeah.
I don't know who else sold any more better horses than he is.
Yes, sir. But there's not anybody any better at evaluating a horse. He does it for banks. He does it for trainers. He does it for breeders and buyers and farms. He does it for the courts also.
For those of you that don't know, the repertoire behind Bob Morehouse of the Pitchfork Ranch in Guthrie, Texas, Bob Morehouse, Tom, and the Morehouse boys were raised the hard way with horses. Bob Morehouse is also the producer of one of the largest ranch horse sales every year, every other year, either at the 4-6s or at the Pitchfork, this year at the Tongue River Ranch, north at Paducah. And these are people that use horses, raise horses, breed horses for using horses every day in West Texas. Now you're watching Josh Lyons over here try to use this blanket as an aid. You saw this horse bend to the left a few minutes ago. He's not getting the same response out of the right-hand side. And that blanket on the ground, he's going to make that horse work around it. That blanket's got to taste good, smell good, feel good. That horse gets used to stepping on it and it don't bite him. Horse gets used to walking by it and it don't hurt him. Then he knows when he puts it on his back, the only place that that horse is afraid of you is right on the end of his nose or right over his kidneys. They're the two most sensitive points in the equine world on a horse. Once you get past their nose, you get past the weak spot in their back, which is their kidney, you can put anything on either place and let them learn to respect it. Parelli, he's got him a bronc, but he's finally got him by the tail over there. Mr. Parelli's been working with him. I'm going to tell you how old he is, but since he's been about 5 years old. And he's worked with nothing but broncs all of his life. Craig Cameron's worked all of his life. Josh had no choice. His daddy's one of the greatest trainers, and you read all the stuff that he writes in the world. They've all done it since they were your age. Every horse is a new challenge. Every time you get one broke to perfection, you let them go 30 days. You got to earn their trust the minute you walk back in the pasture, walk back in the pen, walk back in the stall to get them.
Hey, Bob, look.
It's not how long you've done it, it's how well you've done it in that time frame. And these three men are the best there are right here in these pens right now.
You're missing it. Cameron stepping up on his horse.
He's a hot dog, that's all. Cameron's show off.
Yeah. You called him a sissy earlier. What happened to that?
Probably going to get his butt bucked off before the day's over, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I bet you he doesn't. He's thinking about it.
Get on, Craig. No guts, no glory.
I didn't say that, Craig. He said he's ready. He wants to ride around instead of walk around. Josh doing a great job with the business, as we said a little while ago. It's the John and Josh Lyons certification program now. We don't refer to Josh as John's son necessarily. It is Josh Lyons, who is here and big enough to carry his own dang mail.
Yeah, that John, he just happens to be Josh's dad.
That's what it is now.
Yeah, anytime.
Josh told me last night at dinner over at the Riata restaurant that he and his dad, he doesn't work for his dad anymore. He works with his dad.
Will it work?
He shows his dad some stuff, and his dad, of course, still shows him some stuff as well. Josh has come about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pat Parelli, let's give him a nice welcome.
Woo. Who is it again?
Well, I came a long ways to just ride a calf, so I decided I'd pick this little colt here. He was a tougher disposition horse in the pen I had. I wanted something challenging, but I also wanted something that I could have a little more staying power. This kind of horse I like. He might be my dream horse, might be your nightmare. But it's going to take, from his point of view, confidence, acceptance, understanding results. All I'm trying to do is get him to give me some confidence, to let me touch him in some of these places. Don't seem like a big deal to you or me, maybe, to be touched on the right side or the left side. But this horse here, he's kind of got a little difficulty in his mind that being touched on this right side, a little hard for him. So I just try to set him up here. And every time I step in here, I try to see if that will be easier than the time before. And as it seems to be, and I've kind of got a hold of him here by the tail and by the front end, kind of like what Bob was saying, so I can touch the personal places. We all know that the two most sensitive places on a horse is the appetite and where the apples come out. So I kind of got the apple department in my left hand. I got the appetite compartment in the right hand. I'm just trying to let him see, see there, he thinks he's wanting to bite me, but it's all right. He just wants to see what an Italian cowboy tastes like. Probably spaghetti western, I guess. And so if I catch him caught up on some of this stuff, it'll help me down the line. Now there, he's tolerating me touching him here. So let's see how close to his withers or his shoulder I can get. If I can get there, then I'll go away. If I can get there, then well, he got tight. I'll get there, then I'll go away. Reach down there far. He's starting to tolerate it, but I got to start reading him here and not get too greedy. These kind of horses, if you get them kind of right here, you can do a lot with it later on. There, he kind of relaxed. Now I'm going to walk away from him completely, just so he knows that it's just the approach and the retreat that I'm trying to do here to get him to where I can touch him in these places. And I allow a horse to tell me what he's will allow me to do. He's got what I call can't, won't, don't, yeah, but spots. Yeah, but you can't touch me there. Yeah, but you won't touch me there. And he even struck that foot at me one time, and he said, yeah, but you won't, don't touch me there. So I'm going to try to just step in here time and time again. The idea, instead of breaking a colt and training a horse, I'd rather think about starting a relationship and developing a partnership. It wouldn't matter to me if I didn't get any farther than this today with this horse. If I got this solid, I'd feel pretty happy. It wouldn't matter if I did it downtown Fort Worth. Thank you. The boy, Craig. Where we're at, behind the barn. This colt here don't care if he's downtown Fort Worth. He don't care about the party tonight. He don't care about anything other than his survival. So what we're going to try to do here is help him learn that he can have a human touch him. It's not a big deal. Now right here, I'm going to take a risk and touch him past them withers there. And that was pretty big for him. Hey, buddy. You can see I picked this horse. He got skinned up on his head here. This horse is what I call a kind of a prey animal acting horse, a right-brained horse. And that would be good down the track because that means he's got heart. That means his sense of survival is strong and it's keen. Horses have three major instincts. To be perceptive to danger is number one. Number two, fly from fear. And number three, be gregarious. Go back to the safe place, whatever that is, wherever that is, or whoever that is.
And Parelli's about to get real brave over here and load 195 pounds on old Ronnie.
Testing
Not a
1, 2.
word.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there he comes. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
Craig
yeah.
You bet.
Okay. Well, kind of a fun little horse to work with. But, you know, like I said, just like when he bucked, you know, I never underestimate any horse, and I never let one of them old sleepers fool me, because too many times I've had them kind turn out to be the toughest horses right there. So what I'm doing is just working really, really slow with this horse and kind of taking him through his paces, mainly wanting to get him to bend and flex, and just I've done everything from stick my fingers in his mouth to his ears to up under his tail and rub the rope and picked up all 4 feet, just kind of working with him all the way through. So maybe, just maybe, he'd settle, not only physically but mentally and emotionally, because so much of the time I just want my most important job with every horse every single day, whether it's the first ride, 10th ride, 100th ride, 1000th ride, doesn't matter which ride it is. My most important job is take the fear out of the horse. And I think that's what each and every guy is trying to do right now. But anyway, then I can do nearly anything with a horse. Heck, I can ride him down in the bars in Cowtown if I got a horse that's not afraid. And so to me, it's all about a trust. And what is trust? That's a belief. And you know, like I know, the belief is pretty easy to destroy. So every day, my most important job, work on the respect, the trust, the belief, the compromise, walk them out, in other words, see where my horse is coming from every day. So I worked him through here. I took the saddle off just to keep him cool, because this horse, I don't want him to wear out on me. I can't ride a horse that's too hot. I can't ride a horse that's mad. I can't ride a horse that's afraid. And so I keep trying to avoid those things right there. And of course, when you work down in our country like this, anytime you can add the temperature and the humidity together and get over 180, you better be darn careful with your horse right there.
Here's Marion Bueller, one of our judges for the day.
I just think it's awesome the way that these guys are going about it in the natural way. Having been in the business for 30 years, I've seen a lot of different techniques used, And I hate to say it, but I've seen some abuse on the horses, and it warms my heart to see people doing it and trying to desensitize the horses and to gain some trust in the horses. So I couldn't be any happier to sit here and watch these three guys gentle these horses instead of throwing them and breaking them as people have done in the past.
Marion, thank you.
I think what Marion just said, and I try not to use words I can't spell, and desensitize. That's a cool word. I'm going to try to stick that in my vocabulary. But in the rodeo business, you can't do that to anything. We go the other way. Abuse in the animal welfare industry today, oh my goodness. Say. Custer's famous last words. I don't know what's wrong with them Indians. They were fine at the dance last night. Don't underestimate Little Bay here.
You know, Bob, there's not but two kinds of cowboys, they tell us. Those that have been bucked off and those that are going to be.
Yeah. You never been bucked off, you never rode a horse.
Yeah, that's right.
But of what you're watching and what Marion said, you wouldn't want to abuse your child to teach them. And I believe in two things, nutrition and knowledge. And something that doesn't have the right nutrition doesn't feel good. If you're starved, you're weak. And if you're weak, your mind is non-acceptant. Nutrition is the key factor. You get past nutrition, and if you have to abuse me to make me work, I'm not going to work real good. Now, all of you have been waiting to see Pat Parelli. He used the bareback pad as an aid to tell that horse that its back with a little weight and a little cinch could be all right. Now Craig Carter's helping him set things up. Being prepared is half of it. You'll see what Craig is doing on the outside for those of you over here on the east. He's tying those cinches up. Last thing you want to do is swing that saddle on this colt, have those cinches. If this especially this kind of a horse, Craig got away with it a while ago. That horse is a little more gentle acting. Is to have him flop around there and pop him in the belly and then have him buck the saddle off. Going to take you all day to get it on the next time. Now watch him. There's a procedure. Step one, he's got the trust. Horse is listening to him. Now comes the saddle.
That's that desensitizing Marion was talking about.
I can't use that word. She's a lot smarter than me. Now you're just going to let this horse carry the weight for a minute. This is the first time this has ever happened. It's totally strange. A 2-year-old colt's like a 12-year-old kid. And you got to handle every one of them a little bit different. Don't cheat them, teach them. Don't punish them, prove it to them. You hurt them, they outweigh you 5-1. They're going to hurt you back. While you're in rehab, they're going to be in the pasture, eating green grass, waiting for you to get out to kick you again. All right, 3 men, 3 horses, 3 saddled. Now, Craig's already been there. Horse tried to buck a little bit twice. Josh is saddled. Pat saddled. Now, you saw what Craig did when he saddled this colt over here. Saddled him, turned him loose, popped him on the butt with a rope real light, let the horse go do his thing. Parelli's got, look at this horse of Parelli's lick his lips now. Look at him. What he's doing, you do the same thing in your life. You can't make an animal stop and lick their lips. It's like a dog that bites. Don't ever break eye contact with them. As soon as they know that you're going to win, then you got a friend. All right, now Parelli's keeping his on the long line.
Give me them front hobbles.
Each horse, it's not that Pat's doing something wrong and Craig's doing it right. Each one of these 3 horses all need a different procedure.
They're in there, there they are.
Watch him raise that hand. Horse stopped. See him pick his feet up. He's relaxing. You watch that horse's tail. First time that horse drops his tail in the crack of his butt, that means he's relaxed. Right now he's got it stuck out there like there's a corn cob under it. He's got fear behind him still. Still hadn't relaxed. As soon as that tail relaxes and hangs straight down, then he's accepted it.
Hey, Bob, just talked to Josh Lyons, and he's going to talk to the crowd for a couple of minutes in just a minute. He's kind of at the critical stage of his saddling, but they had some questions about the leggings that he's put on over there. Josh is going to answer that question in just a couple of minutes, the splint boots.
The splint boots, the reason I put those on is it's just an investment. It means after I saddle this horse up and I turn him loose, in most cases he's going to do exactly what Craig's horse does. He takes off bucking. If he bumps his legs on the panel or does something or cuts him, then I just lost my training time. So it's just an investment. It's not anything more than that.
Preventive medicine. They say an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. You hurt one of these young horses, skin him, scab him, strain him, you got to stop training. You got to turn him out. Everything that you invested up to that time frame is gone. It's not wasted time, but if you got 30 horses in a barn, it make a lot of difference. It's a big business these days, a lot of money involved. You talk about starting one of these cutting horse colts, somebody give $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 for, you won't mess him up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking just a minute ago about our veterinarian that came to be with us today, just in case one of the horses might look a little stressed or need a little attention. Well, the vet that said, yeah, he'd come out and be involved in a first-time ever event in downtown Fort Worth is Dr. Ron Sanders from Arlington, Texas.
22.
Now, Ron, he's been around the industry long enough that he has seen the old ways of pain and intimidation, and he has learned a lot from other trainers like the three in front of you right now, and has changed some of the ways that he does things. And I'm going to turn the mic over to him, ask him a question. Ron, appreciate you coming out here. And how have you changed the way you handle horses on your day-to-day operation for, well, the vet business as well as recreationally?
Thank you, Sam. Well, number one, it's absolutely wonderful to watch nowadays, because I grew up in a time when they snubbed them up, saddled them up, and bronked them up. And this kind of training makes a horse last longer and have more respect. You can scare anything into doing what you want it to do. From these guys and guys like them over the years past, I know in the early days of veterinary medicine, when I first started, we'd come onto a ranch and half the time it was snub him up, boys, and I'll give him a shot. These guys can make it the way they train. If you've been watching Pat, it seemed for a while he was behind some other guys, but Pat, as Marion would say, desensitized this horse to a lot of things. And I suspect I could walk in and give this horse an injection right now and he wouldn't complain too much. As a matter of fact, I could walk in and give Pat an injection. He probably wouldn't complain a whole lot. But it's changed the way we do veterinary medicine, because we can coerce an animal gently as opposed to years ago when we insisted. So this is a great deal.
Dr. Sanders, thank you, sir.
Sam?
Yeah, Bob? Who you got over there?
Well, kind of a kid wanting to learn how to ride a horse.
Well, maybe we can get him up on one in a minute.
He's afraid right now, but Craig Cameron's been training on him because they're neighbors. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear the voice of Ty Murray. And I don't think I need to say much about a mile of gold buckles that he's won, but Ty Murray's business has been to ride the horses that buck and keep bucking. But in his retirement years of riding bulls and bucking horses and being an all-around champion,
It's all the way up.
Now you've got a new purpose in life. This has got to be something to enjoy to watch.
Well, I don't know that I have a new purpose in life. I just, you know, since I've quit riding bucking horses, I've rode horses all my life, and I've wanted my whole life to be a better horseman. And I don't think it's something that you ever quit getting good at, and you ever quit learning about. And I've had the opportunity to ride with Craig a lot. He just lives down the road from me, and we have a real good time. And he's teaching me a whole lot about being a better horseman, and I enjoy it. And I can tell by the look on his face, he's wanting me to come get on that horse for him.
You've been bucked off bigger, wilder horses in front of more people. What do you expect this colt to do when he does get on him and go? Just from your visual appraisal of what you've seen in an hour.
Well, I think he'll do whatever Craig asks him to do. I've seen Craig get on a bunch of these horses, and it's like all these guys, they've learned how to communicate with a horse, and they've learned to take the fear out of the horse. And the main thing that they do is they get to where the horse knows what you're asking of them. Horses, it ain't that horses don't want to get along. They do want to get along. It's just for years and years, a lot of us didn't know how to ask them, and Craig's pretty good at making the horse understand what he wants, and that's why you'll see the horse do pretty much whatever Craig wants.
Now, with your worldly travels, you just said something that's pretty key important to a lot of people. They probably thought about it. It's not that in the 1870s, in the 1970s, that they did it wrong, but in the last 25 years, people like this, when you think of John Lyons and now Josh, Craig, Pat Parelli, all the other men that are men and women, not just men, that are here today, in 25 years we've come tenfold over where we might have been for 100 years before that.
You know, I think things just continue to get better, and I'm glad to see these horse clinics getting more popular. You know, I think it's for a long time the old timers would say, just snub him up and get on him, you know, blindfold him, throw him down, whatever. And that, you know, that gets kind of the same results. You can kind of ride the horse then, you can kind of get by, you can kind of go do work you need to do, but it's so much funner doing it this way, having your horse enjoy you and enjoy doing stuff for you. It makes you enjoy doing stuff with your horse a lot more. You know, I love watching Craig when he walks out to a big pasture there at his place to catch a 3-year-old, and the horse runs up to him, and he don't even got to catch him. All he's got to do is open the gate and walk over to the saddle horse, and that horse will follow him and be glad to be saddled and be glad to go do something. And that really puts a lot of enjoyment in being a cowboy and being a horseman.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to thank Ty for his time. He's here to relax. Ty Murray. Cool. Where are you from, sir? South Africa. I could tell that y'all weren't from Fort Worth, Texas. South Africa. Let's give the man from South Africa a nice welcome to Texas. Yes, sir? Who's my favorite of those three? All three of them. Why do you think I've picked Pat over all the rest of them? Well, I can answer that honestly. I've known him since he's been about that big. And I think young Josh is exceptional. And Craig Cameron is my neighbor. But you like Craig? Here's what I like. I like all three of them because they are all blessed to do what they do. I like Pat's work right now because I'm in the bucking horse business. And I like to see a guy really tame the bronc of the bunch. But it may surprise you in about 30 minutes that the colt that Craig has that looks like he went farther faster may end up being the worst of the three. Parelli's horse that was the bronc when he started might end up being the broke best of the three. And what might really surprise you is Josh right here is cinching this colt. See with his head down? He's totally relaxed. He's got his feet under him. He's not arched anywhere. When it's all over, Josh Lyons is liable to outride the three of them in the course. But if you had to pick one over the three, you can't do it. These three men are all gifted, blessed, and talented, and we're not here to see who the best guy is. We're here to see whose techniques under the circumstances make the best end result colt. But I appreciate your question. Now remember a moment ago when I was talking about pressure and release, you see what Pat's doing right now. He's had total cooperation up to this point. Now old Roney got a little hump in his back.
No, I need this saddle.
Hey,
Somebody's got to have a
folks, we need to find a real short gird. Has anybody got a real short gird with you? We didn't bring one of our camps. Didn't know we needed one that small. Anybody got a big old belt might work for a gird? We're looking for a pretty short gird. It's an opportunity to ride old Dobbin over there in Josh's pen. Hey, Bob?
Yes, sir.
Am I interrupting if I tell you something right now?
No, sir, go ahead.
Well, let me tell you what's happened. Josh, the saddle that he had, the D-rings were so low that it didn't fit the horse well enough. It was Pat Parelli, first of all, gave him a shorter gird to see if that would work, and it still didn't work. So in the name of sportsmanship, Craig Cameron said, heck, I'll give you the whole dang saddle. So he has loaned Josh one of his saddles to use to finish this deal out. You bet. And ladies and gentlemen, you talk about the easy and gentle way. I think that kind of sportsmanship certainly supports that idea and philosophy. These cowboys helping each other out. Confidence also, I think, is what that is, Bob.
You bet. Now, what you all watched Craig Cameron do in the first hour was phenomenal. Look at him right now. Hello? Look at him right now. This nice, gentle, beautiful, easy to get along with baby is showing him one of the strongest signs of resistance that this colt knows. And what he's doing is he's sold up. He's trying to make him give him his head and bend right behind his left knee. That's the middle point. Now what he's doing, he held that colt's head.
I didn't know when there's a half hour
and he did
left.
not let him go. He just held him. Pretty soon that colt says, I don't like this. As soon as that colt released and bent, seemed like his lips, he's going, okay, I'm all right, you're okay. Now he's rewarding him. I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't get enough of this in one session. This is something you need to go watch for a long time before you ever buy a horse. You're watching three of the greatest trainers in the world right here tonight. Sam, everybody look and see what Josh Lyons is doing here right now. Okay? No bridle, no halter. He gave this horse his head, which allows the horse the freedom. This nylon rope that he's got tied to the saddle horn, first by itself, now through a stirrup, gives him a lifeline to this horse. The horse is free, but if he has to, he can apply pressure, or he can use it and just pop him with that stirrup. Now that's an aluminum stirrup, and it's making a little sound, a little touch. So if this colt decides to buck and those stirrups go to popping and flopping, he knows it's not going to hurt him. You never give your lifeline up on anything that you're training. You ever turn them completely loose unless that you're working on voice commands? I should ask Marion that, because here's somebody can train a dolphin or a Bengal tiger, but you must remain, if I'm correct, you've got to have a lifeline to them to talk to them, whether it be physically, verbally. Cameron's about to get bucked off. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
By the way, somebody's sat behind me said that's what they're waiting for, about Cameron over there.
I love it when a woman agrees with me.
Doesn't happen often, does it?
Here, let me give you this mic, buddy. You tell them what you just went through. Here, come get it. And I want to know why you took the bridle off. Why'd you take the bridle off? What if he rolls with your saddle?
I couldn't care less if he rolls. If he's that relaxed, I encourage him to do it. Wouldn't worry about it today, especially if it's somebody else's saddle. Really don't worry about it then. But no, I'm not worried about it today. I might even pull the saddle off and and offer the horse a chance to roll if that's what he wants to do. And 30 minutes, okay, thank you. But to me, again, this horse, don't underestimate this little horse. He'd like to buck you off, and yeah, I think he's got a little, kind of a little what I call a hard twist in him in there somewhere that might come out later on in his training. He'd be one of them can you might want to watch a little bit down the trail, or today too. But I think the hardest part, again, getting this horse to get off the rail. He wants to find a quitting spot at that gate, and that's the one thing that I won't tolerate from a horse, and that's a quit. And as long as he's trying, I'm always giving it right back to him. So what I'm saying to a horse is, hey, you give, and I'll give. You yield, and I yield. You be soft, and I'll be soft. And pretty soon we're doing something together. So it's all a matter of communicating with a horse. I always say communication is two minds listening and two minds open. Can't just be me, it's got to be me and the horse. So that's what I'm working at, and I'll just see if I can't progress him a little further and do a few different things here while I got just 30 more minutes to go right here. Thank you, Bob.
This is pressure. This is pressure. If they all could have quit an hour ago, they'd have just shut it off and let this horse go think about it for a day or so. You cannot change the world overnight. And these horses are going to need a break. You watch what Craig's doing right now. Horse come to him. There's that relationship. There's the relationship. You see Josh's horse standing totally relaxed. Pat Parelli's horse now with his head down, his neck straight out, his chin is lower than his chest. When a horse gets their head up, they're defiant. When a horse drops their head, they're compliant. Now watch him back him up. He backs up with him, walks with him. Make him pay attention. Ooh, he don't like that. The horse got a little defiance in him still. The resistance factor is not good. If they got it, help them get rid of it. You've got a child that wants to speak bad, act bad. What do? It's intuition to man. The first time somebody does something wrong, especially if they're smaller than you, it's normal intuition to reach and grab them and choke them, body slam them. You're not going to get anywhere. And if you beat your kids, they're going to grow up, beat their kids. Their kids are going to grow up, beat their kids. If you love your kids, you teach them, you reward them, they're going to grow up, love their kids. Society's going to get better. We're starting to put some pressure on with Josh. He's got the confidence of this colt. Showing him where that offside stirrup's going to go when he gets his weight in it. Everybody says you got to get on a horse on the left side. Who said that? Why can't you get on the right side? Why can't you get on from behind? If your horse is broke, you can get on by spreading your legs and have them drop their head and run underneath you. If your horse ain't broke, pretty good chance you're going to get broke trying it. You see what Josh is doing? He's telling this horse, I'm here, I'm okay, you're okay with having me here. Now, he's the only one that put the bit in his colt's mouth early. That's his preference, and that's his security point that he got something done there. The next colt he gets on, he might not do that. He'll put it in his mouth. If he fights it, he's going to take it out of there. Don't put something someplace that he don't like. Nice work, Josh.
Bob?
Yes, sir.
I just ran across a man named Thomas B. Saunders, the fourth generation. Mr. Thomas B. Saunders been ranching out in Parker County, Weatherford, for about the last 50 years. And he learned the business from his dad. He was there before, and again, this is fifth generation that they're ranching out in Parker County right now around Weatherford. And Mr. Saunders was just talking to me about some of the things they used to do back in the old days. And I'll tell you what, instead of you listening to me tell you what he told me, what'd I say? We're just going to let Mr. Saunders tell you about what he has seen through the years coming up to where we are right now. Thomas?
Well, they all tell me education's a great tool, and you never get too old to learn something. I got a 41-year-old boy here, breaks about 100 colts a year, and the way I used to do it and the way he does it was completely different. Like the old school, we said we broke horses, and that's really what we did. You had to break them down, build their confidence back, and get to be a friend with one. You know, you put your life in the hands of a good horse, and a horse really doesn't reach his maturity till he's about 7 years old. But these young colts, you knock them around the way we used to do it, and kind of taught them that he's going to do it our way. And these boys today that you're seeing here, what we call them like innovative way of doing things, you're reaching out and gaining the confidence of these horses and showing them that you're not going to hurt them, because all they know is defense. They try to defend themselves against any kind of harm or predators. That's what's born in those colts. And if you go in there and get their confidence, then you don't have to fight one of them. In this day and time, we try to take these young colts a lot slower and teach them that we're not going to hurt them, and they just break over so much easier and quicker, and they make better horses. They really do, and I think it's the only way, and I'm real glad that I lived long enough to see that there's a better way of doing this job.
You bet, Mr. Saunders. Thomas B. Saunders, ladies and gentlemen, our fourth-generation rancher out in Weatherford in Parker County. Appreciate you being here.
Parelli's up.
Woo!
Parelli's up.
And look at that.
He
Resistance free.
He could have got up 20 minutes ago.
Wait a minute. He's side passing already.
Well, he just got his butt gathered right there.
Bet he's getting some stretch marks on his backside, too, right now.
Pinch that wedgie. Pinch that wedgie.
Relax, Pat. Relax. Oh, hold his head up, Luke. He's going to the barn.
Now, I want you to look at the little fine rope halter. He's using it kind of as a bow sow with a little throat latch under this horse. And horse licking his lips, thinking about it. He's going to let him move on his power. Not going to force him. All right. Josh is about to get on. You got 3 men a horseback in front of you right now.
He's up. You bet.
You got it. That's what y'all been waiting for.
All 3 of our Cowboys are up now. In just a little while, in fact, Cowboys, let me look at my watch. You've got, about 14 minutes left in the competition right now. 14 minutes left. Let me tell you what's going to happen at that time. Give everyone an opportunity to jump down and run to the sandbox while our wranglers come in. Move the preferred round pins back out of the way to make one big round pin here in the sandy area. They'll also set up the obstacle course. Now, that's not going to take but about 20 minutes. They've been talking about getting this deal done for the last several weeks. They know how to do it and do it quickly, so don't venture off too far. Go over to the Real restaurant concession that's just under the Chisholm Trail mural on the wall and get you a little something to eat and drink over there while we set the arena up for the judged part of the competition. Bob Morehouse, Dale Seagraves, Marion Bueller, our judges, been observing for the last couple of hours, 2.5 hours. watching what these Cowboys have been doing, and they will give you their best opinion here in a little while as they judge the 3 parts of the competition. Now, that competition, again, is going to be on the rail. Now, these horses will come in one at a time and work. They'll work on the rail and a walk, jog, and a lope. They'll make a 360. They'll also stop and stand quietly, and they'll back up. That's worth 50 points, all of it. The next part of it is they'll have an opportunity to go through an obstacle course. 5 obstacles in the course, worth 10 points apiece, another 50 points there. Then the freestyle part of it. They can do anything they want to do. Can't wait to see that. Total 150 points available to each one of them. I think also one of the changes that was made towards the end of our meetings today is that they'll have an opportunity to rope from these recently trained 2-year-olds. Going to rope a bale of hay and drag it. That'll be part of the freestyle, I believe. Certainly some of the bonus points available to them. But again, these Cowboys, they've been here for 2.5 hours. You've witnessed every step of it. You've seen the difficult times. You've seen them come along with the easy way and doing a nice job. All of them up and riding right now. Each one of our Cowboys is a little bit different in the way they handle their horse, but the end result is the same. Every one of them, no matter how different they may be between each other, the goal is all the same. To be, number one, safe for themselves, safe for the horse, and at the end of their session, to have a calmer horse than what they started with. And I think we've got that going on right now. Pat, you doing all right? Pat said absolutely. He's just happy as a two-tailed puppy that he's got this nice little bay going the way he's going right now. We'll see Pat in the obstacle course in a little bit. Again, they'll work one at a time, starting with Riata Pin. And we'll move on to 13 minutes, I was just told. 13 minutes left. Cowboys planning accordingly. 13 minutes left to go. As we talked a minute ago, these Cowboys will have an opportunity to rope in the competition in just a few minutes. Craig throwing a rope right now. Now, all 3 of the horses will have an equal opportunity. They've been given different breaks at different times. But they'll take a mandatory break in just a few minutes where our trainers will put them back in the pen back here at the back where they've got some hay, some water available to them, standing next to some other company back there. And that'll happen. There goes Craig again. Hold his head up, Luke. That'll happen while we set the obstacle course up. Then the Cowboys will go back over when it's their turn, tack up, and be ready to work. Nobody else will handle their horses, just these 3 trainers, the ones that have been handling them already. Bob, how are we getting along over there? Pat seems to be doing what he wanted to do by this point. He had
he's getting it done.
Yeah, you bet. He had the most difficult horse coming into it.
I just asked him if they'd ever done this before, the 3 of them, and he said, no, this is the first time. Now, you got to think about it. They are not actually in competition, but they are. They're not here to see who's number 1, number 2, number 3, because on any given day, by themselves, on any given horse, it could be a whole different program. But you got to think about it. We are downtown Fort Worth. These horses have never seen this kind of atmosphere. They're not used to grandstands full of people. The heat, heat doesn't make any difference.
Hey, Bob, let's. We've got about 5 minutes left in this deal. Why don't we, if Craig's ready, we'll let him right over here and talk about his last 2.5 hours, what he's done here today, and what he expects out of the competition. Craig, you want to do that? We'll just give you my microphone. Yeah, he's coming on over here. There you go.
Okay, yeah. Just starting to cool off a little bit and feeling a little better. Y'all doing all right up there? All right, y'all aren't going to quit us now, are you? Y'all going to hang in there the whole way, aren't you? Say yeah. All right. Everybody got a favorite? I believe that. Okay. But, no, I got this little horse kind of coming my way, and like I said, I think you can see just what I was talking about. He's got just a little bit of a hard twist in him. He gets a little irritated, but I think in time this horse will sure get over that. He's the kind of horse that I would just work each day for a while and just not necessarily hard or anything, but just kind of work with him, make sure he got handled and used a little bit, and begin to take that fear and take that kind of that the poor side of his disposition away if I could. And again, disposition to me is the horse's ability to relate to the rider and to accept training. And I guarantee you, some of them sure do it better than others, absolutely.
Yes, so they do, and you certainly have done it well tonight yourself, Craig Cameron. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of appreciation for Craig? He's done a great job.
Well, I ran into some problems with the cinch. I couldn't find a cinch to fit him. So that cost me a little bit of time, but what I did during that time is I went to the bridle work. So it kind of helped me a little bit anyway. Louder? We need louder. Watch. How's that? There you go. How about I just speak up? That'll work? All right, so anyway, I kind of ran into problems with the cinch. I didn't have the cinch, and so that cost me a little bit of time, but I went ahead and went to the bridle work, and so I didn't lose any time. I went ahead and accomplished a little more on the bridle. He's not as far as I'd like him to be, but again, the student tells the teacher when he's learned it, so I can't make him go any faster. I can only make him go as fast as he wants to go. But he's doing good. He feels pretty solid to me. What I did is I went to my spurs, I went to the rope, and now I'm trying to push him a little bit and push him as far as I can without causing him to blow up. I feel good about the competition. I don't know how we're going to do, but we're going to have fun doing it anyway.
You bet you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Lyons getting along just fine, overcoming some obstacles and making it happen. I believe Bob's going to step over now and find someone else to talk to over at the gate. Bob, I believe, is where that young man is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've watched Pat Parelli all evening also. Have we got Pat turned up, by the way, or does he need to use my mic?
Is his mic on? I know there's a lot of people here in the first hour, and it's not a personal thing against Pat, but you're figuring that this roan bronc is no longer a roan because he sweated Plum Bay. That
sweated the
sweated the roan out of him. He'll stand for me. Come in there. He's all right. That you're figuring we're going to get Parelli bucked off, knock a scab on his old butt. Oh, son. Oh, son. Oh, son.
Just jump up there, Bob, and get it done.
Well, I'd like you to give my young horse here a round of applause. He has not disappointed me.
You bet.
He's tough in a couple of ways. He's kind of extroverted in some ways, introverted in other ways. These are some of the toughest kind of young horses to get through. Sure. But one of the things I would like you to know that if I was at home right now behind the barn or in a corral, I promise you what you just saw is what would have happened. I would have wanted to go this far with a colt like this so that the rest of his tomorrow. See, this isn't about tonight for me. This is about this colt's tomorrows. And if we can get him to where he's making some understandings here, and horses can only do 6 things besides stand still, and that's go forwards, backwards, right, left, up, and down. And I was damn glad just get him to stand still for a little bit. And we saw the forward, the backwards, the right, left, and the up and down. So thank you very much for your patience, and I've been real proud to play with this colt for you tonight.
Thank you, Patrick. Well, they're in their last couple of minutes of finishing. Michael B., sir. Where's my partner? I've got a gentleman over here. For those of you that have come over on this west side, walked by a guy sitting in a wheelchair. Probably thought, well, there's a guy that got hurt, broke his neck. He's a paraplegic. And I bet he'd really like to think about riding a horse. And come on down here. I don't want to exhibit you, but I want you to see how serious I am about this young man. I've watched him catch him stone cold. Colts have never been touched. Halter them, saddle them, ride them, train them, and send them back. And he also teaches. One of the most encouraging things in my life to watch him do it is that everything that we accept every day when we get up, we put our boots on, we walk to the pasture, we go to the stall, and we halter them and lead them someplace. And you got to think about, he starts 2 hours earlier, spends 3 hours longer, and goes to bed 2 hours after we're done. And I'd like you to give him a nice welcome. This is Michael Richardson. MB? I've said it about you in public before, and I'll say it tonight. If you're looking for sympathy, you buy a dictionary and it's in there. But the courageousness of what you do and how you do it is pretty cool. I want you to talk about it.
Bob, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I'm real impressed with everything I'm seeing. It's nice to see you all out here. I'm just like you all. I'm striving to do the best I can with what God's given me, and these wonderful horses are my teacher. They've taught me a lot about life, and I try to in turn take that and develop my skills, and then try to help everybody.
I want you to talk about these three guys. You know them as well as I do, and you know what they do, and you do it, and what you've seen here in the last 2.5 hours.
Well, I've been real impressed with everything I've seen tonight. I've had the opportunity at one time or another to visit with all three of these gentlemen. And it's enlightening to see these horses progress as nice as they have, and the patience that these gentlemen have taken to addressing the needs these horses have. It's a pleasure to see this, and I think this is something that society needs to see more of, because these are wonderful animals, and we as human beings can learn a lot from them.
Sometime tonight during our break, or when we get to the party, whatever, Michael will be there. I want you to come by and shake his hand and meet him, listen to his story. Not how he got to sit in that wheelchair, because all of us are self-inflicted occasionally with stupidity, and it ends up working on us somehow. Thank you, partner. Good to have you here. He writes a heck of a book, too.
Yes, sir. Hey, Bob, time is up. Ladies and gentlemen, time is up for our three trainers. How about a big round of applause for every one of them? They've done a great job coming to us today and picking these raw, brand new 2-year-old horses that have been handled very little. Last time they were handled, they were gelded, and the time is up. All of them going to step down off the horses down, be ready to take them over. We'll rearrange the panels, put the horses back in the pens where they started from originally when the draw was made, in the Riata Restaurant pen, along with the Preferred pen and the KCS radio pen. Our cowboys will not have an opportunity to mess with the horses during this time. They'll put them away. The cowboys will take a break. The horses will get a little water, chew a little hay, and take a break also. Greg, you ready for a break? Got a new shirt, buddy. And our wranglers will be in here, straightening out this arena, pulling out all the Preferred panels of the round pins to get ready for the competition and the obstacle course that will be judged in just a few minutes. Dale Seagraves, Bob Morehouse, Marion Bueller here to judge it. Craig Cameron right now discussing the trail course, the obstacle course in front of him. I'm going to walk back over to our judge, Dale Seagraves, who's going to call the first gates, or the gates of our first rider, Craig Cameron, coming to us from the Riata Restaurant pen. 2 horses in there to begin with. He chose this one because of its attitude and disposition. Mr. Cameron, ride with the rail to your right and begin to walk, if you would please, sir, on the rail at the walk. Being the first event of its kind, it was unclear about how much time should be allowed for the competition. Craig, being the first to work, experienced some additional pressure due to the uncertainty about the time issue. Although pressed for time, Craig managed to complete all 12 tasks in the first portion of the challenge. He got off to a slow start, but made progress quickly. He had his horse walking and jogging nicely. He loped in both directions and on the proper lead. Craig stopped and stood his horse for 10 seconds and then backed quietly.
Where do they back up and put the letter in the mailbox? That's the part I want.
He also made 360-degree turns in both directions, completing the first portion of the competition with good control.
Ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand something. You normally don't start a colt at 5 in the afternoon in downtown Fort Worth and then turn the lights on.
That's good. Thank you, sir. Now walk. Walk, please.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, and now reverse at the walk and continue to walk. And jog. Jog, please.
Sam, don't be so serious.
Okay, Bob. I got these serious judges over here, though, telling me what to do.
I'll do the best I can.
And, Craig, at your discretion, you can lope. Lope when you're ready. It's not a perfect circle, but by golly, it is a circle, and it's on the right lead. You bet. And thank you, sir. Now, walk. Stop. Yeah, stop and stand quietly. Let's do that part. Yeah. Whew. Now he's going to stop and stand for about 10 seconds. Then we're going to ask him to back his horse.
He'd like some oxygen right now is what he'd like.
Uh-huh. And about 3, 2, 1. Now you can back your horse.
Now y'all
Yes,
notice
sir.
y'all notice the kind of a bit that he's riding with. It's called a halter.
Yes, sir. And getting it done, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Thank you, Craig. Nice job, sir. We need to make a 360 at the walk in each direction.
Now we're asking something of these three men that they've not been asked before.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Now the other direction.
They've never been in competition against each other. They've done millions
Another
of hours
360.
of public work.
Yes, sir, they have. Boy, and they've added some credit to their names tonight here, Bob. They've done a great job this afternoon. Now, the obstacle course. The barrels, well, they represent a pattern for a figure 8. The two hay bales sitting side by side with the gray PVC in the middle. That's a jump. Oh, my God. The bale of hay that's sitting over here close to us, sitting up on the 3 logs, one end in the air. Our trainers will have an opportunity to rope that and drag it if they like. Again, the judges have available to them 10 points for each one of the obstacles for a total of 60 points now.
Get a bigger loop, throw it out there, anything falls in it, take it.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that we've done here is that, well, with this being the first event ever, we really haven't known how to make things work, and we gave these guys 15 minutes for their obstacle work. Well, what we've just done back here in the back, management has decided, and Craig, this is for you also, we're going to allow more time than that. So these cowboys, if they would like to slow down a little bit, they can do that. Look here. We're talking about a 2-year-old with only a little over 2 hours of training. Greg Cameron roping from it, stepping over a log as he grabs a 65-pound bale of coastal hay, dallies up, and pulls it off. Looks like he's going to try to jump at the same time. No, maybe not. But he's dragging the hay. I think we found, oh, you bet. Now he's showing off is what he's doing. Greg, nice job. Thank you, sir. Good job. I can't say it enough times with 2.5 hours worth of training on him. Limited handling to begin with as a weanling, and then as a yearling to be gelded. Right now through the cedar zigzag paths.
Rubber band. You got it?
You bet. Got him walking just the way you'd want one to go now. Craig able to slow down just a little bit and then jogging over the 3 cedar posts here.
That's his first refusal.
Let's give him more than 2. What do you say? Everybody help him out here. Cluck to him next time.
Why don't you stick it in your ear? Ain't gonna do you much good.
You hold the strap.
Watch it. He'll do it now. He'll do it.
He's studying.
He'll do it.
Yes, he will.
He'll do it.
Yes, sir, he will. Craig Cameron. Out in the country, they call this kicking butt and taking names.
That colt wanted to do that on his own. You can't
Yes, sir.
make him do it.
That's exactly right.
Now, there's a lot of people here tonight who will never be a rodeo team roper, calf roper. You'll never be a cutting horse person, but you might be a trail rider. You might just be a pleasure rider. And you need to pay attention to all this. It's not the element of the equine business you're going to be in. It's the level at which you compete.
Craig, good job, buddy. Now, Craig's got one more option, and that is a freestyle move. Whatever he wants to do, he can do one of the other obstacles he's already done. He can jump the fence and catch a cab if he'd like. It doesn't matter. Whatever he elects to do. Let's lay down a horse. It doesn't matter. Craig's going to step off on the right side.
Now watch him. Watch him. If he picks up all four legs, there's something wrong with this horse.
He's got two of them done, Bob. But you know what? That horse is not afraid of Craig.
No.
He's got confidence in him. He trusts him.
They're friends.
Yes, they are. And they spent 2.5 hours doing it, you bet, picking up all 4 feet. On a horse that's never had it done before.
Now get on the right side.
Doesn't matter. The horse has got confidence in him.
Yeah, remember, he's only
Just
got
keep your
2
inside
hours,
rein
2.5
tight in case you lose that confidence.
That's all right.
Now remember, Craig's first. Josh and Pat get to watch him.
Yep.
So they have an advantage.
Hey,
oh
Bob,
my God, you
here
aren't
goes
gonna
the
do
bridle,
that.
buddy. Here goes the bridle.
He took it off. Spur him in the belly, cowboy. No guts, no glory.
Be sure you mark him out, though.
Hock it in him. Come on. I want to see it. You want Ty to come ride him? There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you just watched a blessed man. Look at this. Come on, give him a hand. Give him a big hand.
Well, there he is, bridleless on a 2-year-old. Good grief, as we would say. Craig, my friend, a superb job. This is part of the bonus program that he's got going right now, helping old Dobbin decide to move to the right a little bit. Craig not concerned because he trusts the horse now. The horse trusts Craig as well.
Oh, my.
Craig, a local boy. Hey, you bet, there he is. Craig Cameron, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any better than that. Yes, sir. Our wrangler coming in right now to gather the horse up. Craig, nice job, sir. Good work through the rail work, the obstacle course, the bonus work. He's done it all, and our judges tabulating their scores right now. Ladies and gentlemen, stepped up to the end gate right now is Mr. Pat Parelli from Colorado. He's got his little roaned up bay stepping in right now. Rope around his rump, helping him go forward. He also has a halter on his horse, a gentle halter. Pat stepping in, going to acclimate his little bay horse to what's going on around him right now because things are different in the arena than they were just a few minutes ago.
I'll tell you what, we need to talk to City Fathers of Fort Worth because this parking lot looks a whole lot better now than it does full of old cars.
Man, isn't that the truth?
This needs to get to be a regular deal.
Yes, sir. Hey, Pat, you've been at this about 5 minutes now, buddy. Hey, Bob, Jay Michaelson, he's the guy that came up with the idea. He said he thought it'd work.
I thought he was nuts.
Well, I'm not going to say this to anybody but you, Bob, but I did too in the beginning. Bob Morehouse calling for the walk in either direction. Mr. Pirelli's discretion.
Pat used the newly allotted time by walking his horse around the entire arena several times to familiarize his newly trained mount to the intimidating surroundings of Sundance Square. Pat managed to complete 7 out of the possible 12 tasks in the first portion of the challenge. He had his horse walking and jogging, but had trouble picking up a lope. With a little work, he eventually produced a short lope in both directions. He neglected to complete the turns, the stop and stand for 10 seconds, and the backing elements of the first portion of the competition.
No, it's only an expression.
Did I say buck or lope? I forgot. Oh, now lope your horse, Pat. Lope.
Remember the 6 motions of a horse.
Up, down,
Forward,
left, right,
backwards,
forward,
left, and
backwards.
right.
Yes, sir. When you're ready, walk again on the rail. And then at the walk, reverse and continue to walk.
Turn around and go the other way. And there goes the carrot stick. Pat said, I'm going to try something different. We'll get down the lariat. And we'll be walking here on the rail in just a minute. There he goes. A little encouragement forward. The judge is calling for the jog at your discretion.
Nice, the judges are benevolent.
Yeah. And
that was a good turn back, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And now lope him, Pat. Bless you, my son. Tell you what, this has been a tough horse. This is also a tough cowboy, though, Bob. This is the horse that he selected because he knew he was a tough horse. You leave Pat Parelli with this horse for a couple of days, and you'll have your ride, buddy. You'll have your ride.
I don't think he's ever been bucked off in downtown Fort Worth before. There's a first time for everything.
That's right. That's right.
Get you a new zip code.
Pat's been in 10 minutes now.
Yeah, why don't we drag it while we're here?
Yeah.
What a convenient opportunity.
Hey, look where I am, right? I'll just take this down and pull this stick.
Now, Mr. Cameron lost some points because he hung it up there in a wad. He didn't coil it back up, so cost him 2 points on the overall judging.
He knew Pat was next.
Now's when you spur and never look back. Your future is out west, young man.
That's where he'll be in just a minute once that horse realizes that's there, out west.
About the time he goes past the Brock turnoff, we'll get him slowed down.
Yes, sir. Watch out, old Dobbin. Something's following you. Well, there's the drag, part of the obstacle course. He's getting it done with a cedar stay. Cedar post. Pat's got the option at all of the other obstacles. Hickey's going to drag and go over the jump simultaneously. Might be able to drag that stick over the jump. Pat walking up to step over the 3 cedar logs. He's going to side pass over the second one.
Yeah, you get more points that way.
Yes, sir. It's a dressage move. There you go.
Nicely done.
Now, look, Bob, he's going to build a loop. We're going to rope off of this 2-year-old also. He said, hey, if Craig Cameron can do it, I can dang sure do it.
Took Craig 2 loops.
The pressure's on, Parelli.
The closer you are to the target, the more chances of catching.
Good boy.
Swings the rope good, don't he?
Yeah. There you go. Hey, Craig Cameron, for roping lessons, call www.parelli.com. And now we're going to drag the hay. Well, why would I drag my dinner? That's what old Bay's thinking. Let's go over and eat it.
This is when you wished you had 3 hands.
You'd also wish for a completely trained horse. Hunker down there, Pat. Hunker down, buddy. Yes, sir. Pat Parelli going through the uneven posts. Now through the big hourglass posts on the ground. Tell you what, Mr. Tallman just walked up next to me and he said, ain't this great? I tell you what, that's pretty much an understatement. What do you think? You bet. You're in some of the best company available in this great country. Horse people. Watching some of the best horse people in the world right now do what they do best, and that's teach young horses to get along in life.
Going to get the figure 8 done.
Yes, sir.
Now, I highly suggest to those of you that are novice horse people, do not go home in the morning and catch a green colt and try this. Okay, I'm asking you not to do that.
If you do, just be sure you dial 9-1 on the phone and be ready for the other one.
Before you catch the colt.
Yeah. Pat's down to about 7 minutes left, so we're down to the freestyle part. He's completed everything as well as I can recall. Been over the hay. He's drugged both obstacles. He's roped. So he's down to the freestyle. We can only guess what's coming next with Pat Parelli. He wants to do this for as many points as he can muster up right now. As part of his freestyle, it looks like he's going to step up and work the gate horseback. Tough way to work the gate. Oh my God, he's taking his shirt off. Ladies and gentlemen, cover your children's eyes. Pat Parelli nudity is not what we had in mind in downtown Fort Worth. Good grief.
You are something else. Yeah.
Topless. You know, the judges are just shaking their head right now saying, oh, now what do we do?
Well, in a minute, Josh is going to ride in naked. Oh, no, he can't. His mother said, no, he can't do that.
Yeah, and his wife Janet did too.
What about Pat Parelli? What do you think?
Yeah, there he
Texas?
is. You bet. Here comes Josh. That's the same bridle he put in that horse a little while ago. While everybody else was using halters, Josh stepped up and used a bridle with a bit in it. And Josh, if you would, let's take the rail at the walk, please, sir. What do you mean you did already? There he goes, moving to it now.
He's at the rail.
Bob, nice, quiet kind of walk in this little bay that was troublesome. Of course, Josh had some tough times a little while ago also. That saddle that had the D-rings down so low couldn't make his girth work.
Well, you watched 3 men
jog, if you would, Josh. Let's
course.
jog, please. It's your discretion.
You've watched 3 men approach this course, all totally different.
Yes, sir.
All totally different.
Man, look at this jog now.
And they're riding 3 different colts.
And Josh, lope at your discretion. Let's lope your horse now.
I'm not going to lope him. I don't want to. I don't
Okay.
want to get him bucking, and I didn't get a chance to work on it.
Okay. Josh is saying that he is not going to lope his horse right now. First thing that he's concerned about, of course, is safety, and he is going to forego that part of it because he is more concerned about the horse than he is a few points here this evening. You bet.
Josh completed 10 of the possible 12 tasks in the first part. Josh's walk and jog were superior here tonight. He ran into a little trouble with his stop and stand for 10 seconds and the backing of his horse. But his 360-degree turns were very nice and in complete control.
And now whenever you're ready, let's reverse and continue to walk. Just turn around and go the other way at the walk. Hey, Josh, if you'd like to, let's do the other 360 right now.
360?
Well, you horse show guys are sure demanding.
Whew. Hey, these cowboys are sure capable. Josh, let's stop right there. Just stop and stand quietly. Different judge. He's going to stop and stand quietly. A little dob and look
Good
around
job,
just a little
buddy.
bit.
Good job.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's part of it also. And now back your horse, Josh. Let's back. And now walk on. Walk, please. Tell you what, Bob, he's come a long way now.
It's a nice colt.
Yes, sirree.
This
Good
young
trainer.
man's done a marvelous job.
Lost a little time at his round pen earlier because of the equipment issue, the size of the horse. These are pretty good sized colts. But he lost some precious time. But I tell you what, he's getting along well.
I think he took advantage of that time that he had to wait and let that horse cool a little bit, let him settle.
Jog when you're ready. Nice little Western pleasure kind of jog. And Josh, again, it's your discretion. If you want to lope, you may do that. If not, this direction, that's okay. He's saying never mind. He's not going to lope to the left either. Yeah. And Josh now stepping over and taking a look at the obstacles. Again, he's got the opportunity to go through any he wants to go through in any order he wants to go through. I like it when you walk up here and stand like this and tell me something. Chaz just walked up, Josh, and said you've been in there 5 minutes. Doing well. Nice and quiet. Lots of time left. Look at this little horse, Bob, licking his lips. He's quiet. He's easy. Putting his head down where it needs to be as he watches and goes across the obstacles. He walked across with the front legs and jumped across with the back. That's worth something, isn't it? Take a look at the figure 8 defined by the barrels, by the drums in the arena.
If there's a colt out of the 3 that could buck somebody off, and you got to think about this stuff. It's my opinion, and opinions are like elbows. Everybody got a couple. If there's a horse in here that could buck as short couple as he is, I bet this colt be the one. That's why he's making a smart move. Don't put him in a position to make him want to hurt you or hurt himself.
Something I want to point out also, Bob, that I said earlier I wasn't going to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. Josh Lyons, 26 years old. The other guys, well, dang near twice that age. Is that right, Pat? I'm going to move away from Pat for a minute now.
He's closer to it than he's not.
Yes, sir. That's right. Stepping up now to swing a rope. Let's watch him.
We're supposed to ride him again? They want us to go back.
No limit on the number of loops these guys can throw. Josh, by the way, is a team roper, one of the new rodeo sports that he likes to be involved in, as well as bareback bronc riding.
Saddle bronc.
Saddle bronc, was that Susie just hollered at? Somebody did. Gotcha, saddle bronc riding, not bareback. That was Parelli, wasn't it? Used to be bareback. Saddle bronc riding. That's the event he's getting involved in. And team roping. When you got a left hand full of rope and 2-year-old, your concentration might be boogered up just a little bit. Shake it on, Josh. It'll count.
Houlihan him. Like trying to teach a 4-year-old kid how to bowl.
He did a good job.
Level of concentration, not going to be a whole bunch right now, let alone the time frame.
He's a damn good guy. He's a damn good guy. He really is.
Josh, you've been in it for 10 minutes now. Still got plenty of time left. There you go.
Good shot, bud.
He's caught now, kids. Roped, dragging, old bait, quiet, easy. Head down where you'd want one. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, dragging the bale of hay after roping it. Hey, Josh, that horse is broke. Now he's going to jog with a bale of hay, too. Yes, sirree. Look at the horse. Look at his expression. Look how quiet he is. Yes, sirree. Ladies and gentlemen, there is Mr. Josh Lyons. That's the rail work. That's the obstacle course. Got the freestyle. If you want to do something now, he's going to look around and, well, see what he wants to do.
Want to take any clothes
said,
off, anything?
Oh, Josh, please don't.
All right, side pass him.
Got a side pass, he said. Stepped up here and said, I'll just side pass him for you. He's going to turn him a little bit right now. Get him to understand it. What he wants him to do is go sideways. He'll get that done here shortly. Yeah, he's getting there. You know, Bob, most people that teach a horse to sit do it by laying the horse down, then having the horse sit up. Sits like a dog. Josh was telling me last night at dinner that you can actually have one just from standing up, sit down. He told me how he did it. Pretty interesting. Josh can do a lot of things. He's done a great job. An unusual
I believe anything
movement.
you tell me right now.
After watching Josh work, you bet.
I'm pretty impressed.
Yes, sir.
I make a living watching people tie themselves.
There you go.
On animals that don't do this. This is very, very impressive.
How many of you would like to have this little bay horse that Josh is on right now, considering he's only had about 2.5 hours of training? You bet. A buttload of you. You know he's got a lot of life ahead of him. You bet. Josh, that it?
Nice
Ladies
work,
and gentlemen,
buddy.
there is Josh Lyons from Parachute, Colorado. You bet, stepping up and answering the call here in a whisper challenge in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. Bob Tallman, I've never seen anything like it in all my life, buddy. It's been a good one tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it one more time for all three of our cowboys and their mounts at Bass bringing them to us. Riata Restaurant, along with Prefer, You Bet, KSCS Radio sponsors. But I'll tell you what, talking with the judges, ladies and gentlemen, they have all said, in fact, I've got the results in front of me now. They've all said that it was tough. They had different things to look at. Each trainer doing things a little bit differently. The horses a little bit different. We've got a winner in front of us right now. It's what you've been waiting for all this evening. Pat had a tough horse. Craig had a tough horse. But ladies and gentlemen, say congratulations to your champion with another tough horse, Mr. Josh Lyons.
Thanks, guys. Remember, everybody want to know the ball.
At the Rialto restaurant last night, I said, Josh, any predictions? I said, you want to say anything about these guys before we get started? How'd it come out, Josh?
Well, like I say, it was a good time, a great time, and we're all winners. Everybody broke a horse, and comes down luck of the draw, and you got tough horses. You know, I've had horses that took me a day to get on, and it just happened to, I got a horse, he started off a little rough and came along really nice. Craig's horse started off easy and then got a lot harder. You know, and Pat just kind of stayed consistently hard.
That's the horse he drew.
But like I said, everybody's winners. There's all three different ways, and you should have learned something from everybody. So you're all winners, I think.
Hey, here's Craig Cameron.
Congratulations to Josh. He's a great guy. I've been visiting with him all afternoon, and just an exceptional horseman. He has a lot to say and a lot to offer, and I think his future is really bright, so I'm really happy for him. And again, just appreciate being a part of this. I want to thank Pat, I want to thank Josh, I want to thank all the guys involved, Riata, Prefert, and KSCS radio station. Hey, thank you guys for being here too. It's been a pleasure.
Congratulations, Josh. Great job. Your dad can be very proud of you. Everybody's proud of you.
Well, you know as good as I do, the guy that beats and abuses his horse the best is going to win. Are these other rings? Steve Blaine.
Looking right at it. You.
Hi, Mom.
They can take a little bite, but they can't take away from you who you really are.
Are you like purposely filming my booth?
Oh no.
Everybody's living, and everybody's dying, and everybody's a winner. I guess I'm just a sentimental sinner, and everybody hurts, and everybody comes to a conclusion. I'm just a sentimental sinner. Suck in my gut, a little clothes don't fit like they used to. Well, that's okay. I'm just a little bit wiser. Got a smile on my face, a place to lay down. A lady that'll love me till the end comes around. She says, see who you really are. Oh, everybody's living, and everybody's dying, and everybody's a winner. I guess I'm just a sentimental sinner, and everybody hurts, and everybody comes to a conclusion. I'm just a sentimental sinner. Everybody's living, and everybody's dying, and everybody's a winner. I guess I'm just a sentimental sinner, and everybody hurts, and everybody comes to a conclusion. I'm just a sentimental sinner, and everybody's living, and everybody's dying, and everybody's a winner. I'm just a sentimental sinner.